sit back, enjoy, and then we will proceed. I obviously am the contest chair for this evening, but you know, life happens and technology, hey, I'm in South Africa, HCOM is real. To make sure this event runs smoothly, we've got, I've got a backup as contest chair. So our public relations manager, Maud Nale, will be the backup contest chair. We then have other officials I would like to highlight. Our Zoom master is the awesome Cage Ubero, Cage with a K. And his backups are Oscar Maisiri and Herman Kalula. Our district chief judge, Sina Deliu, distinguished Toastmaster, and her backup, Cheryl Wright. The timers are Khadifeli Mueng, Mahahlela Telane, and Timelo Matubatuba. Oh, sorry, Ed, those are just, our timers are Khadifeli Mueng and Mahahlela Telane. The most important people, according to me tonight, after the contestants, of course, are the ballot counters. They get to know the results before all of us. Those important people are Timelo Matubatuba, Eric McKay, Desilu Crossman. Those are our ballot counters. I'm sure you are saying, Jabulo, you've been talking too much. Can we start already? We are ready for the fire. In that case, what I will do is go straight to it and announce the speaking order. So if you are a contest official, please note the speaking order. The speaking order is as follows. Speaker number 1, Tawanda Mubvumbi. Speaker number 1, Tawanda Mubvumbi. Speaker number 2, Verity Price. Speaker number 2, Verity Price. Speaker number 3, Ruramai Sithole. Speaker number 3, Ruramai Sithole. Speaker number 4, Thabani Mtsi. Speaker number 4, Thabani Mtsi. Speaker number 5, Sibongile Moloi. Speaker number 5, Sibongile Moloi. Speaker number 6, Siphosenkosi Kadzutu. Speaker number 6, Siphosenkosi Kadzutu. For the benefit of our officials and given the gravity of tonight, I would like the Zoom master to just hold on with the slide that has all the names, just to give them an additional 30 seconds, if we may. While that is happening, I'll proceed with just some of the pleasant or the important items of this contest. We have decided to turn off all cameras so that the speaker can't get distracted. You also can't unmute yourself. This can only be done by the Zoom master. At this stage, I would like the Zoom master to please enable video for all the contestants and enable them the ability to unmute themselves. If you are a contestant, please stay or don't say anything so that there is no distraction. While this is happening, I'll just continue with the process of reading the rules. So it has been confirmed that all contestants are eligible. To be eligible, a contestant has to meet some criteria. This is not play business. This is big time show business. So a person needs to be a Toastmaster in good standing from a club in good standing. They need to have completed 6 speeches on the legacy program, the competent communicator program, or 2 levels on pathways, our current cutting edge educational program. They also need not to presently be an international, district, or area officer, nor should they have declared their intent to run for such offices. This ensures that there is absolutely no bias. For the information of the judges, the speaking order was defined as 1 meters from the camera within the Zoom screen. All speeches are to be original, and quoted material needs to be identified. A contestant will be disqualified if they reference another contestant or a speech presented by another contestant. All speeches delivered tonight must conform to the timing guidelines of the contest. The International Speech Contest timing guidelines are as follows. The speech needs to be 5 to 7 minutes. A contestant will be disqualified if the speech is less than 4 minutes, 30 seconds, or if it is over 7 minutes, 30 seconds. Could the timers unmute themselves and show that they are ready? So I would start by timer 1. Timer 1, could you please say ready?
Ready.
Thank you. Zoom Master, if you could just please ensure that our timers have the ability to unmute themselves, as I will need them to respond to me, especially timer 2 throughout the contest. Timer 2, are you ready?
Ready, Mr. Contest Chair.
Woo, timer 2 is ready. Timer 2 plays a very important role. That minute feels like eternity, so timer 2 takes us out of our misery. A protest can only be lodged by voting judges and the contestants. Unfortunately, members of the audience, even me, we are able to lodge a protest. Announcement of the contestant winners is final and no correspondence may be entered into. Unless, of course, the winner was announced incorrectly. In that case, there will be an army of people that jump in. Firstly, it will be the chief judge will say, no, stop, don't be Steve Harvey. The ballot counters would also say, jabulo, don't do it. Or the timers. So there's an army of people who will make sure I don't announce the incorrect winner. Whew, serious business, I tell you. District Chief Judge Sinadelu, have the judges, ballot counters, and timers been briefed?
Mr. Contest Chair, the judges, ballot counters, and timers have all been briefed, and they are all present in the virtual space.
Woohoo! That is absolutely amazing. Before we make it official, I just want to make sure that my contestants are okay. Is that all right with you? So what I will do, I'll go through each contestant. I'll go in reverse order to make sure that all my contestants are ready. I'll start off by asking Siphosenkosi to I'll confirm if I can see him. So, and Siphosenkosi, if you can just say ready. Okay. Mr. Zoom Master, if I may ask that we just give all our contestants at this time. It has been quite a while since we tested their video and audio, and what I contracted with them is that we'll go through each contestant to test their video and audio. So please ask them to switch on their video at this stage. I was hoping it was done already. All right, Siphosenkosi, I haven't seen you, I haven't heard from you, so I will not continue. All right, I see you now. Ready? Yes, I could hear you. So I'm comfortable that our contestant is ready. So I will then move on to contestant number 5. And I just lost my place, which is important to know. Right, Sibongile Moloi, are you ready? Right. Just to the Zoom team, once again, please let's enable their video to make this go very smoothly. Enable video and audio for all our contestants at this stage, just to go through the final audio and video check. And if you are a contestant and once you've been invited to enable your video, please do so promptly. I see contestant number 5. Sibongile, are you ready?
I'm ready, Mr. Contest Chair.
I can see you and I can hear you. Contestant number 4, Thabani Mtsi. Thabani, are you ready? Okay. Thank you. I'm muted. I need to hear you for my own sanity so that I know your order works. Fantastic.
Ready, sir.
Good. Thabani is ready. I will then move on to Verity. Verity, are you ready?
Ready, Mr. Contest Chair.
All right. I then move on to Ruramai. Ruramai, are you ready?
I am ready, Contest Chair.
You can see I'm so excited, I can't even count properly. So if I may ask, okay, I just will do the formality. Tawanda, are you ready?
Ready, Mr. Contest Chair.
This is just a test run. I'll ask you once again. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm comfortable that all our contestants are ready for the contest. Therefore, let the contest begin. Just tense moment of silence to make sure we are ready. Tawanda Mubvumbi, are you ready?
Ready, Mr. Contest Chair.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Tawanda Mubvumbi to win a heart. To win a heart, Tawanda Mubvumbi.
How can you win the heart of a relative, a work colleague, or someone who is close to you? How can you make an impact in their life? How can you create a deep bond with them? Spend a lot of time with them, some say. Go on unforgettable holidays, others say. Surprise them with the most amazing gifts, others say. Mr. Contest Chair and my fellow heart winners, a pleasant evening to you. Tawanda, thank you for attending your road driving test, but you failed, eh? Better luck next time. I encourage you to come back as soon as possible, okay? Next. At that moment, I wish that the earth would open up and swallow me alive. At 17 years of age, living in Harare, Zimbabwe, I just failed my 3rd driver's license test. You see, on my first attempt, I failed while reversing by hitting a drum on one side. On my second attempt, I failed while reversing by hitting a drum on the other side. On my 3rd attempt, I'd managed to reverse well. I'd managed to park well, and I'd even driven outside the testing center. I'd driven through the town with the inspector. But alas, I'd still failed. A wave of emotions swept over me. Shame, embarrassment, and hopelessness. I just could not believe it. I felt devastated. I didn't know what to do. What would I tell my dad this time? How would I explain myself? You see, before my first attempt, my dad paid for 26 driving lessons just for me to get ready. But when one day I told him that my high school friend, nicknamed the Gifted One, had passed his road test on his first attempt, he paid for 10 extra driving lessons. I was stunned. My dad wanted me to pass so much that he had to pay for extra lessons just to make sure of the result. 26 driving lessons were more than sufficient. Why did I need an extra 10? It must be a huge achievement for someone to pass their road test. I really wanted to pass that road test. So I was disappointed after having failed the first test, heartbroken when I failed the second, and completely shattered as I stood outside that testing center, having failed the 3rd test. I took a taxi home, but dropped off some distance away from my house just to process my thoughts. There was a steady downpour of rain, but I did not feel it. Even the falling rain could not wash away the fresh emotions of shame, embarrassment, and hopelessness. I eventually got home and I told my mother and my siblings the news. My dad had not yet arrived home, so I decided to go to bed early just to avoid him for that evening. But before I could fall into a deep sleep, I heard the gate open and his car drive slowly into the garage. His car door opened, his car door shut. He walked towards the front door. The front door opened. How was I going to explain myself? Recent research by the Human Improvement Project mentions that to create a deep bond with someone, you must be there for them when they're emotionally upset. There are results to prove it. Children who are supported when they're emotionally upset get better grades, live longer, have fewer discipline problems, and are able to solve their own problems. When someone is emotionally upset, you need to validate their feelings and be empathetic with them. Do not criticize them, minimize their feelings, withdraw from the situation, or try to solve their problems. Validate their feelings and be empathetic with them. After they've calmed down and they feel like you understand their feelings, you may suggest that you have some ideas regarding their situation and ask if they would like to hear them. But when they're still emotionally upset and their logical brain hasn't taken over, validate their feelings and be empathetic with them. My dad opened my bedroom door, walked towards my bed, pulled my blankets. Tawanda, how did your test go? Dad, I failed again. Sadness creased my dad's face. His hand went to my shoulder and he said, Tawanda, Tawanda, I know that you're upset right now. I know that you feel like it is the end of the world, but just know that I'm here for you and will support you until you get your license. My dad supported me. I eventually got my driver's license at my 4th attempt. Actually, it was at my 6th attempt when I was 24 years old. Shh. But I did get it. But it was not getting the license that I'll remember the most. It was my dad's response when I failed that I'll remember the most. My dad's response made me realize that I am not my failures, and my failures would not separate me from his love. How do you respond to someone who is emotionally upset and in the depths of despair, frustration, and heartache? I encourage you to lift their spirits by validating their feelings and being empathetic with them. Is this a bad time to talk about emotionally upset people when so many of us know of people that are victims of prejudice for something that they cannot change, that have lost a loved one through death, or that have failed a driver's license test for the 3rd time? Do not criticize such people, minimize their feelings, withdraw from the situation, or try to solve their problems. Like my dad so many years ago, validate their feelings and be empathetic with them. In so doing, you create a deep bond with them. They'll learn to trust you and know that you are on their side, that you are on their team. So, how do you win someone's heart? Validate their feelings and be empathetic with them. That is the way to win someone's heart. Mr. Contest Chair.
We will now observe a minute of silence. Timer 2. Once the minute of silence is up, please say time.
Time.
Thank you, timer 2. Verity Price, are you ready?
Can you hear me? Can you see
Yes,
me?
I can see you.
Great. I am ready.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Verity Price, who is walking behind you. Who is walking behind you, Verity Price?
We all know great leaders leave a legacy, but wouldn't it be great if aspiring leaders and everyone in between could leave one too? I was a surprise, which meant by the time I was a teenager, I was pretty much an only child, and my parents were ready for rocking chairs. Their idea of heaven, a long walk on the beach, was my idea of hell. They took pride in taking no pride in what they wore. My skinny dad would put on his oldest, baggiest tracksuit and a straw hat, and my grey-haired mom would borrow his other baggy tracksuit and then tightly tie on a headscarf. It was like watching a Halloween horror show of a scarecrow taking a witch for a walk. Like any self-respecting teenager, I just pretended I didn't know them until I would bump into my mom, who was forever picking up pieces of plastic. It drove me mad. Mom, you're so irritating and you're not making a difference. That would lead to a loving exchange of her telling me what an awful teenager I was and me telling her how awful her dress sense was. But one week, my mom stopped and said to me, Verity, you should always try to leave everywhere you go a little better than you find it. Surprise! A teenager ignored her mother. But despite my eye rolling, my mom lived her motto. From the homes we lived in to, her work as a nurse to her beach. But when my dad died, his death tore her apart. And her emptiness was soon filled by the wine bottles that began to litter our home. And so at 70, Mom washed up into rehab, bent, broken, bereaved, in my dad's baggy tracksuit and her headscarf. Dormitories, tattoos, nose rings. This was her Halloween horror show. But this was where she picked up the pieces of herself. And then she started picking up people. She became a shoulder to cry on, a granny to confide in, and soon an Uber to AA meetings. There was Mom in her headscarf with her tiny car crammed full of recovering addicts, all trying to educate her into the virtues of rap music. It's 11 years since my mom and dad were reunited on a celestial beach. And her life never made the headlines, but there were lines of people at her funeral, many with tattoos and nose rings. We put out a little book for them to share memories of her in. And story after story told us of all the ways that she'd left things a little better than she'd found them. Her beach would have told the same story. And my story, well, it took losing my mom to finally start following in her footsteps and realize that there are always ways for me to leave things a little better than I find them, whether it's looking after the garden in our rented home, or helping a client clean up after I've given a keynote, or having my baby grow up in cloth nappies. Every day, I'm given moments where I can live my mom's motto. And I know that she is having a laugh, because I cannot walk down a beach without picking up pieces of plastic. It drives my family mad. But I don't wear a headscarf. This world is littered with problems: plastic, pollution, poverty, politicians. I would go on, but I have run out of words that start with a P. But would any of these problems exist if the ones who'd walked before us had lived by my mom's motto? No. In fact, all the good that we enjoy is because someone looked at their stretch of life and they chose to clean it up. Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Mandela, leaders who became legends because they left everywhere they went a lot better than they found it. And it's easy for us to hold them up as the ultimate leader, but we don't need to wait for icons to change the world. People like you and me can change our world and leave it a little better for the ones who walk behind us. At home, at work, in your club, on the beach, whether you're picking up plastic or mentoring a club member or tidying up after a meeting or, heaven forbid, closing the toilet seat. Whatever your version of better is better than doing nothing. Now, regardless of whether you want to become a leader who becomes a legend or someone who simply leaves a gentle legacy, all this world really needs to become a better place is more people like us making a simple choice. A choice that I watched my mom in her headscarf make every day. A choice that thankfully doesn't care who you are or what you wear to make it. It just cares that you make it. Because when you do make it, and every time you make it, there's a very good chance that someone who's walking behind you could one day be giving a speech about your legacy and how you left things better than you found them. Contest chair.
We will now observe a minute of silence. Timer 2, once the minute is up, please let me know by saying ready.
Time.
Thank you. Ruramai Sithole, are you ready?
I am ready, Contest Chair.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Ruramai Sithole. Let's play a game, truth or dare. Let's play a game, truth or dare, Ruramai Sithole.
Can you think of a time where you accomplished something that you initially thought you had no capacity to achieve? Maybe it was buying a car or buying a house. Maybe it was graduating. Or maybe, like in my situation, it was receiving a reply to a love letter. Mr. Contest Chair, and to anybody who has ever achieved the unthinkable, I vividly recall it like it happened just yesterday. My best friend, like a hurricane, stormed into our hostel, and with a cheeky smile across his face, he shouted on top of his voice, "I've got your reply." Those words sent an ice-cold shiver running down my spine. And between you and me, it is on this day that I wish I was wearing diapers. Friends, you've got to understand, the reason why this letter was such a big deal for me was because in the past, I had written so many letters to so many girls, but none of them had ever replied to me. And I don't blame them for not replying, because if I'm being honest, when I was in high school, I was good at a lot of things, but interacting with girls was definitely not one of those things. This was the hardest pill that I've ever had to swallow. Me conceding to this fact that I was not designed to be a ladies' man. And as soon as I realized that speaking to girls was not in my area of expertise, I took one major decision that forever changed my life altogether. If I saw a girl coming from that direction, I would open my arms and with confidence quickly turn around and run the opposite direction. And it worked. It made my high school life so much easier. Everything was perfect. Everything was superb until the day I was invited to play the game Truth or Dare. In the heat of the moment, my friends dared me to write a love letter to the prettiest and most popular girl at our school. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Not only was this girl my crush, but she was every other boy's dream girl. Clearly, I stood no chance because this girl was way out of my league. Now that I think about it, when it came to girls, I doubt I even had a league that I qualified in. See, during this time also, puberty had done what it does best. It had experimented with my looks, and at the end of that experiment, it left me looking like a combination of the bold boogeyman and the not so beautiful beast. My voice was so terrible. I had pimples all over and I even lost half of my hair to the same puberty, which obviously explains my fancy haircut today. I know I cannot prove it, but I strongly believe it is because of puberty as well that my handwriting turned out to be the clumsiest handwriting throughout the entire school. That is how I got the nickname Dr. Ruramai. It is for this reason that when they challenged me into writing this letter, I did what any confident, courageous, smart young man would do. I pulled out my letter stencil and I carved out a beautiful knot. After pouring my heart out onto that piece of paper, I entrusted it to my best friend for delivery, and before I knew it, she had replied. But that is not the best part of my story. The best part of my story is that in this letter were inscribed the 4 magic words. 4 words that any teenager would die to hear. And what are those words? I love you too. And just like that, I had accomplished what had been deemed impossible by both my friends and myself. I'm not going to lie. In that moment, I felt like a black Tom Cruise in the movie Mission Impossible. I still don't know what this lady saw in me or why she said yes, and that does not matter. What matters is I got the girl. But why am I sharing this story with you today? See, many of us, when we look at the places we want to go, the people we want to be with, or even the people we want to become, we oftentimes allow our fears to go in our way and stop us from going after those things that we really, truly, and deeply want in our lives. Today, I want to challenge all of us here to go out there and pursue all those dreams that we have been disqualifying ourselves from. In fact, let us play a game. Truth or dare? What is it that you really, truly, and deeply want out of your life. That which you just thought of, I dare you to go after it today. Maybe you're trying to open a company or run a business. Maybe you're trying to write a book. Maybe you're trying to start exercising and eating healthy. Or maybe, like in my situation, you are just looking for love. Whatever the case may be, big or small, I dare you to be bold and go after it today. Well, not this bold. This bold. And by now you should know that life is like a game. If you don't play, you don't win. Contest chair.
We will now observe a minute of silence. Timer 2, once the minute is up, please let me know by saying time.
Time.
Thank you. Thabani Mtsi, are you ready?
It's just the helicopter driving by, so let's just give the helicopter some time, and then I'll be ready after the helicopter goes. Hurry up, bro. He heard me. Okay, I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Thabani Mtsi. It takes a village. It takes a village, Thabani Mtsi.
It was at the wake of democratic South Africa when the journalist Karli van Wyk asked the question that the whole world was anticipating to hear the answer to. Mr. Mandela, how are you planning to run the country?
Thank you, Karli. There's a principle called Ubuntu. It says, I am because you are. And you are because I am. This means I will not be running the country alone. It will take each and every individual in South Africa. It will take a village.
Contest chair and fellow villagers. Ubuntu is an African moral philosophy premised on interdependence and coexistence. The philosophy says, without friendly relations with me and other people, your humanity is invalidated. And consequently, without friendly relations with you, my humanity is invalidated. This is synonymous with the African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together as a village. This reminds me about a story of village cistern I once heard. A cistern is a water storage unit similar to a reservoir and a well. This particular cistern got its water from the local rivers and dams. It had taken the villagers years to build and maintain the system. They used it for all their washing, their drinking, and their cooking, until one day, an epidemic broke out. This epidemic left all the elderly and the children sick. The young men of the village ran to the chief and they told him about this epidemic. The chief in his wisdom knew that a disease of such nature was waterborne. The chief then approached the villagers and he addressed them. Fellow villagers, I'm infuriated. Our water has been polluted, and as a result, our children and our old people are sick. What is the cause of this? The villagers were scared. They started making suggestions. One asked, is it maybe the animals? And another one asked, is it perhaps a change in seasons? The chief knew that it wasn't the animals nor a change in seasons that was causing this epidemic. The chief then told the villagers to go about their everyday lives and he was going to observe them for a month. Upon observation, the chief realized that people were doing things as per usual. The children were going to school as per usual. Adults were going to work as per usual. And even families were going to church as per usual. This is strange, the chief thought. Upon further observation, he realized that there were minor behavioral changes in the villagers' everyday lives. Whenever someone would cross the river, they would leave a bit of litter here, a bit of litter there. Every now and then, someone would urinate upstream, and another would defecate downstream. It was at this point that the chief realized that these small, seemingly insignificant behaviors were contributing to this big epidemic. The chief then approached the villagers again. This time, cool, calm, collected. He told them about his hypothesis and he commissioned them to go intricately watch their behaviors over the next few weeks. A week went by, a month went by, and verily, verily, the elderly started becoming better. And even the children were out in the streets playing as joyful as ever. This experience taught the villagers the principle of Ubuntu. It became evident to them that humanity is interdependent. They also saw that how one shows up in society informs how the next person experiences that society. This message rings true today because it still takes a village. It takes a village to flatten the coronavirus curve. It also takes a village to spread the coronavirus. It takes a village to elect a benevolent leader. But it also takes a village to elect a dictator. And even in the various virtual villages that we exist in, are we working to build connections or are we breaking connections? Every word and deed contributes to the wellness of your village. Where are your words and deeds taking our village? Because, ladies and gentlemen, it takes a village. Contest chair.
We will now observe a minute of silence. Timer 2, you know what to do. Ready after a minute. Thank you.
Time.
Thank you, timer 2. Sibongile, I invite you to switch on your video and unmute yourself. I think you are muted, or it shows you as muted on my side. Sibongile Moloi, are you ready?
Can you hear me? Can you see me, Mr. Contest Chair?
I can see you, I can hear you. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Sibongile Moloi.
I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Sibongile Moloi. A brain to pick, an ear to listen. A brain to pick, an ear to listen, Sibongile Moloi.
Mr. Contest Chair, do you believe that mentors make magic happen? I'd like to share with you a quote by John C. Crosby. He once said, mentoring is a brain to pick, an ear to listen, and a push in the right direction. As part of my journey to become a quantity surveyor, I had to complete several internships. My first internship was at a construction site, and they were building the first shopping center in my area. How lucky was I? Just 10 kilometers from home. The mentor that I was assigned to found work quite a burden. He made sure that we do not find ourselves busy slaving away at work. Can you imagine not being busy at work? I was bored out of my mind. When I looked out the window, I saw a crew at work, and I thought, I'm young, I'm energetic, I might learn something from them. So I joined them. I picked up the shovel and pick, dug trenches with them, mixed concrete. I even laid bricks. I learned enormously from the crew. They were a brain to pick, an ear to listen. My second internship was at a well-known South African company. I was immediately assigned a mentor. Finally, a mentor, a brain to pick, an ear to listen. Sadly, that was not the case. My mentor was hardly ever in the office, and when he was, busy with reports and empty promises. Yes, Sibongile, I will definitely send you, I will send it today. Today, I will send you that file for you to look at. That never happened. He did not have the time to share his knowledge with me. I thought, what can I do to gain knowledge? I then moved from one department to another. After several years in this well-known South African company, I was given the opportunity to mentor a trainee named Fundi. What can possibly go wrong? It was a 3-month contract that had come to an end, and my boss came to me a month later and said, Sibongile, your name came up at court, and we fought very hard, and we won the case. I stood there puzzled, and then I connected the dots. The horror! Fundi took the company to court and splashed my name on the court documents. I do not know Fundi and I had a discord. It seems to me, whether I'm a mentee or a mentor, drama is attracted to me. That did not deter me. Currently, I have mentors for almost everything. I was chatting to my mentor in academics, and he said, Sibongile, one of my mentees passed the exams. You can do it. You next. You can do it. He bolstered my self-confidence. When I started my business, I thought, I did business management. What can go wrong? I was wrong. Having Dumelo as my mentor is a gift that keeps giving. He is a brain to pick, an ear to listen. And when I joined Toastmasters, I was delighted when I was asked, Sibongile, who would you like to be a mentor? I do not hesitate. I grab the opportunity. And the mentoring that I'm receiving at Toastmasters brings into remembrance the phrase, umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. And there's a song to it. Umuntu, umuntu, umuntu ngabantu. I am because you are. With my past experience on mentoring, I could have easily shut out doors on mentoring, and that would have been a colossal mistake. I mentor my daughter, Naledi, teaching her to be humble, to fearlessly share her knowledge with others. But that shouldn't stay at home. What about schools? Where schools can have a buddy system and children can learn to be mentors and mentees. And move this to high school and universities. Can you imagine the wealth of knowledge that they would have gained? And how beneficial it will be in the work environment. Imagine how this exchange of goodwill can impact the world globally. How would you make sure that this exchange happens? Will you be a brain to pick, an ear to listen? Will you gently nudge someone in the right direction? Contest chair.
We will now observe a minute of silence. Timer 2, once the minute is up, please let me know by saying time.
Time.
Thank you, timer 2. Siphosenkosi, are you ready?
Yes, sir, I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Siphosenkosi Jedidiah Kadzutu. Pick up the ball. Pick up the ball, Siphosenkosi Jedidiah Kadzutu.
The words that I had been praying for finally came to my ear. Fellow Toastmasters, have you ever been in the perfect position to grab an opportunity, but in the moment it mattered the most, you somehow dropped the ball? March 2018, I qualified to get into the school first team rugby squad that was going to South Africa for a rugby tournament. I was so excited. My hard work had finally paid off. I could not wait to play an actual match. After a long and strenuous 27-hour bus ride from Harare, Zimbabwe to Johannesburg, South Africa, we finally arrived at the Krugersdorp Easter Rugby Festival. For those who do not know, rugby is a sport whereby we pass around an egg-shaped ball about the size of my head. Each team is allowed to have 15 players, and for 80 minutes, no more human beings, just like you and me, turn into barbarians, fighting, wrestling, and tackling each other with an objective only fellow barbarians would understand. The first 15 players for my team were chosen, and my coach assured me, Sipho, you are going to play. Yes! Is a substitute. In my heart, I prayed for a chance to play, but in my head, I was yelling at the coach, let me play. At one moment, he asked me to warm up, and I thought, yes, finally, some game time, only to see him choose another player to get onto the field. I was touched, but I never lost hope. The words that I had been praying for finally came to my ear. Kadzutu, warm up. I want you to play. My prayer had been answered. I finally got into the match. After a few minutes of play, the perfect scoring chance came. I had exercised perfect social distancing from my opponents. All I had to do was catch the ball and go score. I shouted at the top of my voice, pass the ball. And as my teammate passed the ball, everything got into slow motion. I stretched out my hands to catch the ball. And guess what? I dropped the ball and the game was over. We work so hard every single day, but in the moment it matters the most, we somehow drop the ball. It reminds me of a time I attempted public speaking for the very first time. It was in front of a beautiful crowd, just like you. There were some gorgeous ladies too. The only proper thing that I said was my first name, and everything else sounded like silence. I was so embarrassed. These are the moments in which the ground would just open up and you would just disappear. Just when I thought I had dropped enough balls in my lifetime, guess what happened? I secured a huge contract with the company I work for, and they decided that I should work on it. I worked day after day and night after night, but when the day came for me to deliver, I discovered that I had placed the wrong order. And this cost the company about $73,000. In that moment, I felt so discouraged. I remember looking straight in the mirror and I noticed a tear flowing down my cheek. I had failed. But I'm here to tell you that no matter how many times you drop the ball, pick up the ball. Winston Churchill once said, success is moving from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. After I dropped the ball in that rugby match, I simply picked up the ball and I went back to the training field. I worked even harder and went on to score numerous times in different rugby matches. And guess what? They chose me as the second team rugby captain. After embarrassing myself at that speaking event, I simply picked up the ball, and with the help of Toastmasters, I stand in front of you as a proud speaker. After I messed up that huge contract at my workplace, guess what? I'm still trying to pick up the ball. Picking up the ball means not letting minor setbacks hold you back from your desired success story. Have you picked up the ball? Yes, we know you messed up that presentation at your workplace, but all you need to do is pick up the ball. Maybe you do not put enough time and effort into that relationship. All you need to do is pick up the ball. And yes, as Toastmasters, we all know that the pandemic robbed us of our fun-filled face-to-face Toastmasters meetings. But that did not stop us. Aren't we all here for Lekotla La District 74? Because we simply picked up the ball. In reality, life will always happen. And sometimes, as human beings, we always make mistakes. But no matter how many times you drop the ball, pick up the ball. Pick up the ball and keep moving forward. Contest chair.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may ask you to please remain silent while the judges complete their ballots. District Chief Judge, could you please indicate when you and the ballot counters are ready to leave the room? If you need to take a bathroom break, this is, as an audience member, this is probably a good time. If you are a contestant, I would like you to please stay put because we'll go straight into contestant interviews.
Mr. Contest Chair, will do.
All right, I see my Zoom masters are thinking, Jabulo, stop being a slave driver. We all need a 5-minute break. Ladies and gentlemen, the Zoom masters have spoken. We will wait. I think I will just wait for the Chief Judge to first confirm that everything is ready, and then we will take a 5-minute break. So if we can just stay put, and once we have all the ballots, we will then take the 5-minute break. You know, sometimes Zoom masters will just show you who is the boss. Firstly, it's Rahadi, who is just showing me who's got the keys here. And I can tell that the Zoom masters are part of Rahadi's squad. They're like, hey, here, under this virtual Lehutla tree, we are the boss. You must play to our guitar. You are dancing to our tune. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I trust that you're back and you enjoyed the bathroom break. It is 1834, and we're meant to have resumed at 1830, but because under this, the Hutlala District 74, there are elders with higher powers than me. Here we are. If I may please ask that we perhaps stop the sharing unless there is a magical thing that will happen, that the amazing team in the background, they're just magicians. They wave their wand and things happen that I don't even sometimes know about. That's how magical the team is. I think we need to give it up for the admin team in the background that are just on fire. So thank you so much, team. Madam District Chief Judge, I haven't gotten your confirmation that all is in order. May I please get your confirmation?
Mr. Contest Chair, I have all my ballots. Mr. Master, may you please move me, my ballot counters, and my backup Chief Judge to the breakout room.
Hey, Rahadu squad, please, 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 please move the district chief judge. The sooner they move, hey, the sooner we will know the results. Awesome. We'll just wait for that to continue happening. But while that is happening, I think we can proceed. I am sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I promised you fire, and our contestants delivered. The top 6 gave us really quality international standard speeches. Super proud of all our contestants. Tawanda is saying, Jabulo, you are talking too much. Did you even ever win a speech contest at your club? Look at me. I'm number 6 in 9 countries. You better let me speak. Ladies and gentlemen, who am I to argue? Help me welcome Tawanda Mubvumbi. Tawanda, as part of your introduction, I would like you to tell us which club you're from and which division you are representing.
Certainly, Mr. Contest Chair. I'm a member of the mighty Kempton Park and the incredible Division I.
Woohoo! I'm sure all the members of Division I, are you here? Please show Tawanda some love. Let's see the chat buzzing with support for your contestant, Tawanda. Tawanda, I would like to know some of your notable accomplishments. I've got them on the record, but I'm more than happy that you let us know.
Yes, my notable accomplishments include getting married to the love of my life, Kanya Malenhle Mubvumbi. We were dating for close to 5 years, and yes, we got married on the 28th of March 2015. And yeah, it's just a privilege to share life with someone that you can relate to, that understands you, and that leads to the second accomplishment. We have a beautiful daughter called Ruramai Faye Mubvumbi, who is bubbly and full of energy, so different from Kanya and I. We are more reserved, and she's like out there. So I'm really learning about extroverted people from my little daughter. You won't feel it at first when you see her, but after some time, you really get to realize that she's so out there. And the other accomplishment was being the district finance manager for Toastmasters International District 74. It's such a privilege to give back to such a wonderful group of friends and acquaintances who have helped me improve as a public speaker and improve in my leadership skills. Thank you, Mr. Contest Chair.
Thank you so much, Tawanda. I was privileged that I served shoulder to shoulder with you during that year, and you were phenomenal. One of the best finance managers we've ever had in District 74. Thank you for your service to our members. Now,
Thank
Tawanda,
you,
I'm sure many members of the audience are interested to know what inspires Tawanda.
What inspires me is mastery at anything. So if I could tell you the Netflix movies that I've watched The Last Dance, which features Michael Jordan, because he was the king of his craft. And so just the amount of effort and the amount of time they put into perfecting their craft, it just inspires me. And it inspires me to be the best version of myself as well. So yes.
Thank you so much, Tawanda. We've got over 230 clubs in District 74. And that means the layers that you had to go through to be top 6 in our district is phenomenal. Therefore, if you recommend a show, I'm definitely going to watch it. Last Dance, I've noted it down, so I'm going to search it on Netflix. Tawanda, I would just like to acknowledge you and your journey thus far. Congratulations on being one of the top 6 speakers in Southern Africa Toastmasters. You should really be proud.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Tawanda. It's really just a pleasure to get to know you better. I will then invite on stage Verity Price. Verity, are you ready?
I am.
Fantastic. Verity, what club are you from and which division are you representing?
I am from Toasted Toastmasters in Cape Town, and I'm proudly representing Division D.
Say what? It's a beautiful name. Just every time I see the name of your club on the list, it just catches my eye. So well done on a very clever, memorable name.
Thank you.
Very fantastic. Verity, I would like to find out some of your notable accomplishments.
Well, I think the ones that I put on your form, when I'll add to what I put on your form, was probably my most noticeable accomplishment was becoming a mom at 44. So I'm technically what is known as a geriatric mother, which I'm trying not to take personally because I'm 8 years older than my mother was when she had me. And you heard how rude I was about her. My poor son. But my big noticeable accomplishment was that I got my DTM 2 weeks before he was born. I was like, I'm not letting this thing hang over me anymore. This is happening before the baby comes. And it was great. It was really good motivation to get my DTM so that I could become a mom.
I'm sure those that had the opportunity to hear you deliver those speeches expectant really had amazing experiences.
They were worried I was going to go into labor, but we got there. I would deliver more than a speech.
Well, we're glad you just stuck to delivering speeches and waited for at least 2 weeks before the beautiful delivery came through. Thank you, Verity. Verity, what inspires you?
The big thing that inspires me, and it's kind of what I see in Toastmasters all the time, is people facing their fears. I'm blown away. I mean, when I joined Toastmasters, I was already speaking for a living. So this wasn't difficult for me in terms of confidence. I had gotten over that when I was much younger. But I've watched members join our clubs who can't get through a speech without having to drink water, without their knees knocking together. And they stand up and they do it again and again. And I watch their confidence grow. And then I kind of have to look at myself and go, okay, get out your comfort zone. Go do stuff that makes you that nervous and still show up. I'm blown away by people who've got the courage to face their fears and grow through it. It really inspires me.
Sure. It's amazing. And they say growth happens outside of the comfort zone. What doesn't challenge you doesn't change you. So thank you for contributing to other people's growth and really holding their hand through. I mean, this is one of the most difficult things, finding your voice, and you've helped a number of people do that. Verity, I'm really proud of you and your journey. You've been phenomenal, and thank you so much for being one of our top 6 speakers in District 74. Congratulations on your journey. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for Ruramai? As part of your introduction, can you please tell us what club are you from and what division you are from? And I am expecting that members of your division, like they did for Tawanda and Verity, they will just light the chat up.
Thank you, Mr. Contest Chair. I am representing Santan Toastmasters, which is under Division H. I know they're in the room.
Well, they will make us feel their presence, I'm sure. Fantastic. Ruramai, what are some of your notable accomplishments?
Thank you, Mr. Contestant. Me being here is actually one of my most notable accomplishments. I know there are people in the room who knew me 4 or 5 years back. They still can't believe that it's me. They have to text me and make sure, like, are you the one speaking, the one we learned with? Because they know I was not in this space where I had this confidence to stand up in front of people and speak to them. And to even go outside of Toastmasters and speak professionally, that's something huge for me. But other than that, last year I managed to publish a book, my very first book, probably not my last. And that sums up my accomplishment that I'm really proud of.
Oh, fantastic. Well done on overcoming your fear and being one of the best speakers in our district. I'm also interested, and I'm sure our audience are interested, to find out what inspires Ruramai.
I love this one. I am inspired by death. Yes, I can see the look on your face. I always get that. Every time I say this, I love how people just get startled and started social distancing. I think I'm into dark voodoo or some juju.
Look at me.
So stay with me. The reason why I say I'm inspired by death is the fact that I find that being grimly aware, or every time reminding myself of the fact that anytime I can die, is actually motivating. Every time I wake up, I'm asking myself the same question. What if I die today? Who's going to remember me? How are they going to remember me? So by just constantly asking myself that question, I'm always reminding myself that I need to build a legacy, and I need to make sure that when I die, which is obviously, I don't know when, but I'm going to die. 50 years from now, I want someone to point at something and say, if it was not for Ruramai, that would not be there. So being inspired by death forces me to live every single day like it's my last, because I don't know when the last will come. I might choke on my favorite pie. I might collapse right now. You never know. That's why I'm inspired by death.
Leave the pie out of this, okay?
You can choke on your favorite pie, Mr. Contestant.
Ruramai, thank you for just changing my perception. I really find that deep, and I think it's important that you make a difference through each day. They say today is called the present because it's a gift, and our days are not guaranteed, and therefore it's important to live each day and make it count. So thank you for reminding us of that this evening. Ruramai, I'm really proud of you and your journey. Congratulations on being one of the top 6 speakers in District 74.
Thank you so much.
Well done. Right, I think Thabani is itching to get back on screen and have a conversation with me. Thabani, please tell us which club you are from and which division you are representing. And I'm expecting members of your division to light up the chat.
Thank you, Mr. Contest Chair. I am from the Stellenbosch Toastmasters Club. Woo! I know my Stellenbosch people are jumping up and down right now. And I'm from the division excellent. I mean exuberant. I mean exciting. I mean ecstatic. Division E. Division E.
If ever Division E needed a brand ambassador, I'm sure they know where to go. Fantastic. Thabani, what inspires you?
What inspires me, what I said last time, is street performers, vendors, and security guards. And similar to what I said last time, I'm just all inspired by their work ethic. Look, these are some of the people that wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go feed their families. And I was actually in a taxi with a vendor this week, and she was carrying planks, right, to put up on her stand. She was carrying a bunch of fruit, and she had to go onto the taxi with that and then carry it out of the taxi and go put it up where she trades. These people inspire me. I really need that work ethic.
Sure. And you know, sometimes you think, no, the weak gender and so forth, and just to think of the things that people have to go through just to survive or live each day. So I can understand and relate to that. Thank you, Thabani. And now move on to, what are some of your notable accomplishments?
Oh, I always struggle with this one.
All right, I will help you with one that you wrote. So I'll give you 10 seconds to think about it and come up with one. Otherwise, I'll assist you.
I've got
look
it.
at you. Look at you, Division E ambassador.
Today, what a good accomplishment was that I spoke truth as far as I possibly could, which is difficult to speak the truth, both to ourselves and to other people. So I think that was a big accomplishment. Myself in the morning will be happy with what I achieved today.
All right. Thank you so much, Thabani. You should really be proud of your journey. You are the top 6 speaker in District 74, and that's a huge accomplishment. Congratulations on getting thus far. I see Madam Judge is twitching, itching. Madam Judge Pela, we've got official communications. Please let me know. Take me out of my misery. Hey, people want to know. All right, the next person I would like to invite is, let me check, Sibongile. I see Sibongile, you are on cue. Sibongile, tell us, which club are you from and which division are you representing?
Mr. Contest Chair, I am from Highway Toastmasters representing Division P.
Yay, fantastic. What inspires you, Sibongile?
What inspires me, people basically who find their purpose and they work towards their purpose. People who are not conformed to society, but who live according to what is in their heart and boldly, fearlessly conquer what is in their heart. That's what inspires me.
Sure, absolutely amazing. I mean, that courage to be able to live a purpose-filled life and just to pursue your passion. I really think that is awesome. On your side, Sibongile, what are some of the accomplishments that you are proud of?
I wish I could mention a long list, but I will have to say being part of this contest. This was not in my vision board for 2021. I just joined Toastmasters last year, so this is quite an achievement for me. And to actually be talking to you guys, Senate in the background, everyone, it's been amazing, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, this by far tops the charts.
Fantastic. It's really been amazing to witness your growth. Congratulations on your journey thus far, and you should be extremely proud. And you are, of course, because you just shared with us that you are top 6 in 9 countries, District 74. So we really are proud of your achievement. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, I take there are no prizes for guessing who I'm about to welcome on stage. Siphosenkosi, Jedidiah, Kadzutu. Please tell us, what club are you from and what division you are representing?
Sorry, I'm representing Executive Club, and the division I'm representing is Division Z. Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm sure your division is proud of you. Siphosenkosi, what inspires you?
My mother really inspires me. When I think of kindness, I think of my mother. When I think of drive, that's my mom right there. When I think of generosity, that's my mom. If I think about love, care, all the special things out there. That's my mom. And I think just the mere fact that she managed to raise me is it's a miracle in itself, and it's very inspiring. Because growing up, I was what those people used to call little rascals. Yeah, I was one of those. So yeah, she really inspires me.
Fantastic. I hope one day I get you to meet your mother, because the way you've described her, it's definitely somebody I would like to meet.
Yeah, she's a true African queen. Huh?
Awesome, awesome, man. What are some of your notable achievements that you'd like to share with us tonight?
So I'll share two. Last year, I published and launched my very first book at age 19. That's one of my notable achievements. And then the second thing is I managed to, I founded a company last year in the midst of COVID-19, and it's called Sijeka, and we are into the business of logistics. So it is really a miracle and quite an accomplishment. And just being here is also quite an achievement in itself. So those are some of them, sir.
Wow, amazing achievements at such a young age. Congratulations for making it thus far. Congratulations on your journey and being one of our top 6 speakers. And that is just a stuff dreams are made of. We are really proud of you, Siphosenkosi. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sure, just like me, you are itching to know, you want to know. I believe our district chief judge has a few words she'd like to share with us. District Chief Judge, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Contest Chair. The contest was fair. We did not have any protest, and we had to use the tiebreakers ballot. So stressful. But it would be good to know that there were no disqualifications on time. So all our contestants were in the running to be the next District 74 champion of public speaking.
You know, when I bring out my red book, it means, hey, it's getting hot in here. Woo! You know, you think I was just suited like this. Hey, I knew the heat was going to be on tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the results, and I'm ready to announce the results. Sorry, I think there's a technical glitch. Do you mind if we just take a half an hour break and then we'll resume after 30 minutes? I didn't think so. I did not think so. Ladies and gentlemen, the third placed contestant for the District 74 International Speech Contest is Sibongile Moloi. Congratulations, Sibongile. Please, Zoom masters, let us spotlight Sibongile. I would like to see her face. I mean, this is big. This is fantastic. Sibongile, I hope to see her video soon. Yay! Congratulations, Sibongile. Come on. Well done, well done, well done, Sibongile. Thank you so much. Right, I will then move on to announce the second placed winner. So Mr. Zoom Master, if you can also just, the second placed winner is, allow the drum roll this time, Tawanda Mubvumbi. Yay! Fantastic. Yay! I can see Tawanda, Mr. Zoom Master. That's spotlight, Tawanda. Congratulations, Tawanda. Really, really, you should be proud. Yo, ladies and gentlemen. Whew. Hi. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm having load shedding. I think there's load shedding. Something is wrong. I think we must just wait till tomorrow to announce the results. I wouldn't do that on you. Do you know what this means? This means the name I will announce is the person who will wear the crown of being the District 74 Southern Africa International Speech Contest. They will also go on to represent us on the Region 11 semifinals. I have no doubt in my mind, like I told you, that they are going all the way to the World Championship of Public Speaking. Mr. Zoom Master, the District 74 2021 champion of public speaking is... Before you move, you do anything else, Verity Prize.
Well done.
Excellently done.
Well done, well done.
Congrats, Verity. Well done.
Fantastic.
Our champion. Ladies and gentlemen, I think
Wow.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure we are all excited for Verity, but perhaps she wants to celebrate this moment with the family. So we'll get her off screen so that she can go and celebrate. I'm so proud of you, Verity. You did it! Well done!
Well done!
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited. You can go sit. I see the Zoom Master is so jealous. She wants Zoom Master. It's fine. I'll release Verity, remove her from the spotlight, let the family celebrate. On our side, we are super proud, and I see messages are just coming in. Okay, please spotlight Verity, because now we have a new, I know, sorry Zoom Master. We can't let that opportunity be missed.
I've got to
come on.
Hey, baby, congratulations.
Wow.
That's right.
So much.
You deserve it, Yobi.
Well done.
You deserve it. Great.
Well
done. Well done.
You deserve it.
Tombo, well done. Tombo, congratulations, Tombo.
So proud, Vivi.
Congratulations, Verity.
I'm so proud.
Congratulations.
Champion, world
Congratulations, Verity.
world champion. Screenshot for
Congratulations. Well done, well done.
Everyone.
Well done, Verity. Well done.
Congratulations, but this for the
Verity.
after party. As wish
Well done,
Verity
Vivi.
well.
Contestant,
Shout
well
out
done.
to
Without you,
Verity.
there will be no contest.
Enjoy
Well
the
done.
moment. She is our champion. She's representing us. Let her enjoy this.
You deserve it.
Anybody want to add anything to that? Just want to crack on.
It's ladies and gentlemen, this event is adjourned. A big thank you to all our officials who made this happen. Please note that we will see you during the Hall of Fame. I just want to confirm so that I don't pull a Steve Harvey when the Hall of Fame starts. I have lost my program. So just please go to the Maycon website, check the timing for the Hall of Fame, and remember, outfit change. You don't play like that. See you soon. Let's celebrate our heroes in District 74. Wait, yes, you don't want to miss out on that. But I just need to make sure I'm not pulling a Steve Harvey. So I am expecting Rakadi to please, Tebucho, can I just ask you to jump in and confirm the time for the next event? Just even if by voice.
Mr. District Director-elect, I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you.
The whole of... You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So the Hall of Fame is happening on another link. It'll start in a few minutes. Actually, everybody else, when this call ends, we can jump onto that Hall of Fame link. It will start, and then we will have our keynote from Aaron Beverly. Then we will have 10 minutes to glam up and come back for the award ceremony.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Rakadi has spoken. It is not over yet. We are about to hear from the 2019 world champion of public speaking. So what I think will happen, and if it doesn't, I've got at least Rakadi, because I realize, hey, Rakadi sometimes locks me out of these things. I am your plug, team. I have decided that I will paste the link for the Hall of Fame. I find ways to find the keys. This rich Rakadi. If you go with her. So ladies and gentlemen, please click on the link that's on the chat. Let's connect on the Hall of Fame session, which will start right now. Right now, we'll give you about 5 minutes to move from this session to the next session. Catch you on the other side. The link is pasted on the chat, but if you've registered on www.maycon.co.za, you'll also have the link there. Otherwise, check out our social media pages, Southern Africa Toastmasters, or speak to any leader in our district. We'll be able to direct you. All the best. See you on the flip side.
I'm standing on top of a mountain. I'm calling all of my people. It's time to celebrate the victories of an African child. Shabani Road. It's time to celebrate the victories of an African warrior. Babi Sibongile, Mabese Bazobona. It's time to celebrate the victories of an African warrior. Tell the world I'm From the dusty fields of my village to world stages, I'm crossing finish lines. I have earned my spot. I am proud to be an African. Ooh, I'm a champion. Babi Sibongile, Mabese Bazobona. It's time to celebrate the victories of an African warrior. Tell the world I'm an African child. Sabelela, sabelela, sabelela. Mubvumbi. Sabelela, sabelela, sabelela. I was born an African. I was raised to be a warrior. Ooh, I'm a champion. Tell the world I'm an African child. Big power. I was born an African, and I was raised to be a warrior. Ooh, I'm a champion. I hear the footsteps of victory echoing, champion, champion. Listen to the sound of victory echoing, champion, champion. Kawe, kawe, kuku, kuku. Wena, wena. Wazi, wazi. Kutana, kutana. Champion, champion. I am proud to be an African. Oh, I'm a champion.